I have been a wrestling fan for as long as I could remember. As a child, all the way up until now, I still go back and watch every now and then. I don't watch it as much as I used to, but I still check it out every now and then. The product is not the same as it was when I was a child. I can definitely tell you that, whether it be the WWE, whether it be AEW, whether it be anything, New Japan, whatever. Product is very different, and I do not know a lot of the names that are there. So, yeah, I'm just gonna get into the information, and I'm gonna give my 2 cents at the end of reading everything. So, from what it says here, it says WWE chairman and CEO Vince McMahon allegedly had an affair with an employee, then agreed to pay $3 million when she signed a non disclosure, according to a report on Wednesday. The WWE board is now investigating the agreement, which was signed in January 2022. The investigation has also reportedly uncovered several older agreements related to misconduct claims that other female WWE employees brought against the 76-year-old McMahon and John Laurinaitis. Johnny Ace is part of this? Wow. WWE's head of talent relations. The WWE board found out about McMahon's recent $3 million agreement after receiving a series of anonymous emails from someone claiming to be a friend of the woman who had an alleged relationship with the WWE chief. The emails reportedly alleged that McMahon hired the woman as a paralegal at a $100,000 salary, then bumped her pay to $200,000 after they began a sexual relationship. McMahon also gave her like a toy to Laurinaitis. Wait a minute. So basically, what this is telling me that he hired her allegedly, put her on payroll allegedly, right? And basically had his way with her allegedly and passed her off to the homie John Laurinaitis. That's crazy. But I'm gonna keep on reading. My friend was so scared, so she quit after Mr. McMahon and lawyer Jerry paid her millions of dollars to shut up. The person who sent the initial email reportedly wrote, the email appears to refer to Jerry McDivitt, who works as McMahon's attorney and did not respond to a request for comment for the post. McDivitt wrote in a letter to the Journal that the ex paralegal hadn't accused McMahon of harassment and that WWE did not pay any monies to the ex employee on her departure. Okay. The board has reportedly found McMahon used his personal funds to pay ex employees who signed the agreements. McMahon is married to Linda McMahon, who co founded WWE alongside her husband and served as the administrator of the Small Business Administration under President Donald Trump. WWE did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the Post. A company spokesperson told the Journal that McMahon's relationship with the paralegal was consensual. The spokesperson also said the WWE is cooperating with its board's investigation and takes the allegations seriously. McMahon's non-disclosure agreement with the 41-year-old ex-paralegal gave her a payment of $1 million upfront and $2 million in addition payments over 5 years. The Journal reported, citing people familiar with the deal, the WWE's 8 independent directors have reportedly hired law firms Simpson, Thatcher, and Bartlett LLP to conduct the investigation. Now, after reading all of that, um, what does this do to Vince McMahon's legacy? Does this really cripple or chisel Vince McMahon's legacy at 75, 76 years old? Does this really hurt his legacy? Because, I mean, Vince McMahon has always been at the helm of controversy with his company, whether it be his company, whether it be him by himself. it has always been engulfed in controversy, whether it be a steroid trial or the Jimmy Fly Snooker thing, or the plane ride from hell, or the um, basically the death of Owen Hart at at the hands of a stunt that went bad, and it happened in the WWE. So like McMahon has always been at the helm of controversy, and does this really do anything to his legacy? So I believe he actually stepped down. From what I'm gonna read here, it says McMahon stepped down, but like he Stephanie McMahon obviously like she had like stepped away, but she's like now the interim CEO while Mr. McMahon is like going through all the legal things at the moment in time. So like it's basically saying like yeah he's he's not like he doesn't have the title of CEO right now, but he's still, of course, he's still in control of creative, and he still has a say of things to go down. So what it says here, it says uh, Vince McMahon needed to remind you who's still in control and that WWE is still his company, then, now, and forever. The 76-year-old billionaire in a public and simple show of power opened Friday Night SmackDown last week live on Fox. It came hours after he stepped aside as CEO and chairman of the company while WWE's board of directors investigates claims of sexual misconduct against him. McMahon's daughter, Stephanie, as I said, returned from her leave of absence. It's crazy because she leaves just like she leaves just right before this was about to happen. So it must mean she knew that you know some stuff was about to hit the fan, for real, for real. Um, Let me go back to it real quick. Go back to it real quick. Let me read it real quick. So McMahon, like I said, McMahon's daughter, Stephanie, returned from her leave of absence to take over her dad's executive role. And it's crazy, like I said, it's just crazy that she took a leave of absence right before this happened and she was getting buried on her way out. It's crazy for, the way she, I guess, did things as, as a chairperson in the company and what she did. Um, but McMahon is still heading WWE's creative, and that in many ways is where the real power lies. So there was McMahon after WWE announced earlier in the day that he would appear on the show. And you know what's crazy? I really thought when he came out there, he was really gonna like address it like for real and say, "Yeah, I'm going through something right now." Not you don't have to say like, "Hey, I'm doing this" or whatever. Just say like, "Yeah, there's something going on right now," and better to like discourage all of you who are consumers and pay good money to watch the product at hand that I basically built from the ground up. I thought he was gonna take accountability when I saw him on SmackDown, but he didn't do that. So there was earlier in the day he would appear on SmackDown in a likely move for ratings that worked on as SmackDown. 2.29 million viewers saw a big jump in the key 8 to 49 demo. That's 18 to 49 year olds, if y'all didn't know demographic. That garnered in the top spot on TV that night. McMahon came out to the crowd with his normal strut and his No Chance in Hell theme blaring. Not a care in the world because I guess the Mr. McMahon TV character isn't being investigated. Mr. McMahon is. While there was some boos, he was loudly cheered at moments, and the camera cuts, of course, showed clapping audience members. When McMahon spoke, there was no mention of the black cloud and serious allegations currently hanging over him. And here's my 2 cents a little bit on that. Like he's even like he's bold for going out for going out on television and basically just opening the show. Like when McMahon spoke, there was no mention. Yeah. WWE's tagline, then, now, forever together, welcomed everyone to SmackDown, smiled, and tossed his microphone away. WWE cameras did happen to catch one fan going, "That's it. No remorse, no apology." Nope. McMahon also made a surprise appearance 3 days later on Monday Night Raw for a pointless segment to basically remind the audience about John Cena returning to the show next week, which was announced weeks ago. And the company has run endless television promos. Oh, yeah. So it's basically John Cena's 20 years, in the WWE. It appears McMahon is just doing it because he can at this point. It's all a way for him to show, "I'm here. I don't plan on going anywhere, and I dare the board to try to get rid of me." I mean, honestly, to be fair, does the board of directors have enough like pull like that to basically shut him down and basically tell him, "Hey, bro, you got to go home"? Is it? Can they do that? I wonder. Like, is that even possible for that to even happen? Because I mean, if they can like go in and do and be basically investigating Vince McMahon, like investigating the person who basically controls the company, can they also tell him like that he should leave and like basically, "Hey, sit your ass down"? Because I mean, at this point, it doesn't look like they really can do anything if he can just show up to SmackDown and show up to Raw and just still be still be influential in the meantime. I wonder. I mean, I'm not wishing that on him or anything like that, but one can wonder, is that even possible for somebody who is basically like the owner and controls almost every aspect of a company, when something like this happens and you have like a board of directors who all have a say so and all go into a realm of wanting to like really like dig and dig and investigate all things possible with this issue. Is it possible for them to even do that? I wonder. But let me continue reading. Let me see here. It was also a way to show that it is business as usual in WWE, and McMahon is hoping the audience accepts that, as they do most everything else he provides for them on TV. It doesn't benefit McMahon for people to look past the headline and question the bare minimum way he and the company have treated this so far. The most publicized accusation against McMahon from last week's bombshell Wall Street Journal report is that he allegedly paid $3 million in hush money to a 41-year-old former employee with whom he had an affair. She allegedly signed a non-disclosure agreement in January that prevents her from discussing the relationship. Da, 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 da. Okay. Okay, so basically, for now, with this whole entire case, it's being investigated. That's pretty much what that article is telling me, is that it's just being investigated, and right now it's just pretty much business as usual for Vince McMahon, and he's not really like worried about anything happening because one thing that was mentioned was that it was consensual, and she also signed the NWA. I mean NDA, excuse me, and I guess one would have to just wait to see if there's any more going on with the case that is gonna be like uncovered and is like basically lying in the dark, waiting to be shined a light on.